Hi, everyone, and welcome to Insights in Caribbean Intellectual Property, the official podcast of the Caribbean and America's Intellectual Property Organization. I'm your host, Pete Manning, along with Shana Joseph. Today's topic is Digital Sovereignty in the Caribbean, the Policy Proposal. The Caribbean region generates billions in value for AI companies through its cultural data. But here's the shocking part. They receive absolutely zero compensation or control over how their heritage is being used. Dr. Abiola Inniss has proposed a policy approach in a policy brief titled Moving Beyond the Digital Plantation as a means of counteracting this activity. That's the crux of what we'll be talking about today.
That's such a striking example of digital colonialism in action. The way these companies are treating Caribbean cultural data as ownerless territory really mirrors historical patterns of extraction.
And what's particularly troubling is how this extraction is happening through seemingly neutral technical mechanisms. The U.S. Fair Use Doctrine is being weaponized globally to legitimize what's essentially data theft on a massive scale.
Well, let's break down exactly what's being taken. We're talking about Caribbean music, literature, historical archives, even traditional knowledge being fed into AI systems without consent or compensation.
And these AI companies are building billion-dollar products using this cultural data, while the region sees absolutely no economic benefit. It's creating what they're calling an extraction paradox. The more valuable Caribbean data becomes, the less control the region has over its own heritage.
You know what's fascinating though? This proposal isn't just about stopping the extraction, it's laying out this comprehensive four-pillar strategy that could transform how small states engage with AI development.
Right. Let's dive into those pillars, because they're really cleverly constructed. The first one essentially says, if you want to use Caribbean data, you need to have actual skin in the game. Physical presence, partnerships, something tangible in the region.
And then there's this brilliant concept of the CARICOM data trust. Instead of individual institutions trying to negotiate with tech giants, you'd have this collective entity with real bargaining power.
Exactly. And Dr. Inniss is proposing to use licensing revenues to fund compute credits for universities, build regional GPU clusters, support research. It's about creating a complete ecosystem rather than just collecting fees.
The moral rights protection aspect is particularly crucial. She's talking about preventing AI systems from distorting events like the Haitian Revolution or erasing indigenous histories. These aren't theoretical concerns anymore.
And Dr. Inniss is also proposing this fascinating right of correction, giving Caribbean institutions the authority to demand corrections when AI systems generate inaccurate content about the region. That's a powerful tool for maintaining cultural integrity.
So, how exactly can they implement all of this? The timeline seems pretty ambitious.
Well, Dr. Inniss has mapped out this 24-month implementation plan. The first 6 months focus on the foundations, drafting legislation, setting up the data trust working group, conducting a comprehensive dataset audit. Then they move into building infrastructure and negotiating those first licensing agreements.
Though I imagine global tech companies aren't going to be thrilled about suddenly having to pay for data they've been taking freely.
That's precisely why the fourth pillar about building Caribbean AI capacity is so crucial. By developing local expertise and computing infrastructure, they're creating alternatives to depending on foreign AI systems. We're talking about research centers at multiple universities, specialized curricula, support for local AI startups.
The way this transforms from a defensive strategy to one about creating new possibilities is really powerful. They're not just protecting data, they're building the foundation for actual Caribbean participation in AI development.
And what's particularly exciting is how this could serve as a model for other small states globally. If CARICOM successfully implements this framework, it provides a blueprint for maintaining digital sovereignty while still participating in the global AI economy.
The proposal makes such a strong point about the Caribbean's unique position to lead on this issue, given its historical experience with extraction and colonialism.
That's absolutely crucial. Dr. Inniss proposes bringing a perspective that's often missing from global discussions about AI governance. And she's not just talking about abstract principles, she's proposing concrete enforcement mechanisms through this new digital rights enforcement office.
You know what really stands out to me? The way Dr. Inniss is thinking about balance. between protection and access, between local development and global engagement.
Right? And also addressing practical challenges too, like standardized metadata, provenance tracking, the technical infrastructure needed to make this work. It's comprehensive in a way that few other proposals have been.
The economic implications are pretty significant too, creating new revenue streams from data licensing that could actually fund regional development.
And those revenues would be specifically directed toward building AI capacity. It's about creating this virtuous cycle where protecting data leads to developing new capabilities. The proposal really understands how economic, cultural, and technical sovereignty all need to work together.
Looking ahead, what do you think are the biggest challenges the Caribbean can face in implementation?
Well, coordinating across multiple Caribbean nations won't be easy, and there will definitely be pushback from tech companies. But the alternative, remaining a site of digital extraction, is clearly unsustainable. This is about moving beyond the digital plantation to true digital sovereignty.
That really captures what's at stake here. It's not just about protection, it's about transformation and self determination in the digital age.
And that's what makes this proposal so powerful. It's showing how small states can assert their digital sovereignty while still engaging productively with global technological development. It's about ensuring the Caribbean has a real voice in shaping how AI impacts our world. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Insights in Caribbean Intellectual Property. Please follow us wherever you listen to this podcast so that we can let you know when there's a new episode. If you listen to us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.